Okay, so let's say you understand what I'm saying, what I've been saying in the previous videos. Then how do you do it? How do you consciously change the experiences that you're having? Okay, so become conscious, right? Be really conscious, pay attention. It's not just happening out there. You have a connection to what's happening out there. And then remember, we're talking about our thoughts, our speech, and our feelings. So thoughts, inner talking, right? So that's speech, but it's inner speech, and that is huge. So many times people speak very positively to their friends and at work and to their family, but inside they're constantly arguing about it with themselves, or they are telling themselves, yeah, well, I can't have that, or they're telling themselves, trying to think of some juicy ones that I have when I listen in and I think, are you serious that you're saying that? I'll tell you, for me, a lot of it where I catch myself is I'll feel myself go into fear, right? I can be having a great day and something happen. I get, a bill might come, or I don't know, something. Let's go with a bill comes that I don't expect. Well, it's fine. That's fine. The bill will be taken care of. But the old me that wasn't able to take care of bills did react in fear. Even though things always worked out, the knee-jerk habitual feeling in my body was, my stomach would get tight. I'd feel afraid. Well, those are clues, right, that I had a thought, even though I don't realize that I had a thought. Feelings follow thoughts, not the other way around. So I had to have had a thought under the radar that said, oh God, I don't know that I can take care of that. Or, oh God, what am I going to do, right? It goes back to an old habitual response, that knee-jerk response. Bill, be afraid. Oh, money, be afraid, right? So in order to change that, I have to be aware as quickly as I can of that feeling, because sometimes, the feeling can go on without paying attention because we've felt it so often. And then it's really, where your head might even start to hurt. So it's not just that feeling in your gut. Now the feeling has spread. Shoulders might hunch, jaws might clench. Well, okay, if I'm hunching my shoulders and tightening my neck, clenching my jaw, wouldn't it stand to reason that my head would start to hurt? This is all connected, right? But I don't even notice until my head starts to hurt, because maybe I'm working and so I just push it all down and I just keep concentrating on my work. But when I learn to catch that very first feeling, understand that's a clue. That's happening for me. It's not happening to me. It's happening for me, and it's actually happening through me. My whole system is like going on alert. Cindy, pay attention. Pay attention this time. Because now, if I catch it down here, talking about my gut, not waiting for it to get up to my neck and my chest and my throat and up into my head and in my jaws, right? I'm not waiting for that. I'm catching it as soon as my stomach starts to clench. Then I can take a breath and think, what was I just thinking? Well, just the idea or the thought of that bill popped back in my head. I haven't paid it yet. Or I don't know that I can pay it. Or, there's that one and there's this one. How do I pay both of them? Right? I might have plenty of money in my account to pay it, But those old thoughts are still jumping in there when I believed I couldn't take care of things. If I'm not present in the moment, I never understand how I just ambushed myself. But because I am paying attention, I catch it and I realize that's an old thought. But the old thought is coming from the old way of being, when I used to believe that I couldn't take care of things. That is what's known as the concept we carry of ourselves. You hear about self-concept. That's what they're talking about. Do you have a concept of yourself that can take care of things, that can handle things, that can figure it out? It's okay. I always can come up with a solution. I've got this. Breathe. Stay calm. There's always a way to handle it. Or am I telling myself, I never even have that conversation, right? I go right from the knot in my stomach to, oh my God, what am I going to do? If I have the concept of myself as someone who finds resolution, who can solve things instead of somebody that can't, now I have the chance at this moment to remain calm and say, I can figure it out. It's okay. I may not know what I'm going to do right now, but what I do know is that I can figure it out. So if I'm setting up an affirmation, I know I want to set up affirmations that tell me I'm confident. I'm a problem solver. I can always find the solution. Even if I don't know what that is, just by telling myself that, I'm setting myself up for success, right? I'm setting myself up for a different experience of life. Hey, I've got this. It's okay. Cindy, do you know what you're going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. But what I do know is that I'm going to figure it out. What I do know is that I'm a really smart person. What I do know is that I believe in me. You know, here's a good time to talk about this. Einstein said, the most important question you can ever ask yourself is, do I live in a friendly universe? Now, what I understand that he meant about that is, if I have decided I do live in a friendly universe, that somehow things are always working out for me because I live in a friendly universe, because I live in an environment that I know I'm safe, I know I'm taken care of. Now you might say, well, I don't believe I do live in an environment where I'm safe. And what I'm saying to you is your thoughts preceded that decision. If you go back and you tell yourself, Einstein said the most important question. So he's saying at the beginning, ask yourself that. He didn't say, do a survey and find out if you're safe. He said it's the question that you ask yourself. Because remember, it's our assumptions that are creating our experience. What we assume is going to happen, what we expect is going to happen. So if I carry an assumption that I live in a friendly universe and somehow it's going to work out. We all know people that have that kind of attitude. And then what? Things work out. You know, people say, what is it about her or him? Things always work out for them. Doesn't matter. Well, that's it. They carry that belief. They carry, and I say belief, but it's really deeper than that. It's an assumption, a conviction. When you're convicted of something, when you believe it, it's hard to shift that. right? When you've decided on something you really believe in, somebody else comes along and tells you the opposite, maybe these videos, for instance, it can take some time to shift your assumptions, your convictions. But I'm here to tell you, first of all, you can. And secondly, if you stay with it, you will. Learning to manifest what you want instead of what you don't is a process. And guess what? It's a skill. When you first got up to walk, I guarantee you fell. When you first started riding a bike, first of all, you probably got on a tricycle, right? And then you were on a bike with training wheels. And then the training wheels came off and you were on a two-wheeler and you learned to balance. But chances are, between the training wheels coming off and learning to balance, you fell a couple of times. But you wanted to learn to ride the bike so much, you got back up and you got on the bike. That's what we're talking about with manifestation or anything. Deliberate manifestation. Because again, you're always manifesting. You're already really good at it. Now you want to do it consciously. And just as you learn to do anything, you can learn to do this. It's a process. It's a skill. You get better and better at it if you do not quit. For some reason, we make up that, I'm no good at this. This doesn't work for me. Whereas we don't do that about walking or riding bikes or learning to write or speak. How about if you ever learned another language? You didn't get it right. You had to learn. It was a process. And then you get really good at it. It's like that. How about this? Every year in January, the year changes. So we're in 2023, we're about to go in 2024. Is there ever a time at the beginning of January that you find yourself continuing to write 2023? And you go, oh, hell. I'm going to have to stop because I'm never going to remember that it's 2024. It doesn't even enter your mind because you have confidence that you can make that shift. So, in closing today, let's have an affirmation about confidence. First of all, let's decide I live in a friendly universe. I am confident I live in a friendly universe, and I'm confident that I can learn to manifest deliberately what I want. I am confident because I know I'm smart, concept, because I know that I can learn. I'm confident because I'm just somebody that sticks with things. And I care enough about myself and enough about my life, and I'm sticking with this. Well, that's my story, friends, and I'm sticking with it. I hope you'll stick with me and continue to come and let me help you. What lies beyond in these videos is your opportunity to live a life that you may not even be able to imagine right now. I want you to dust off your dreams and take another run at it. If you will let me know what your questions are, I will make these videos around that. In other words, otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking about this process because I want you to understand it is a process. It is a skill. And just like learning to write and walk and talk and drive, you can learn this too. Thanks so much for being with me. I'm Cindy Brett. I love you already. Bye for now. This little clicker